G'day and welcome back for more Survival Impossible. Last time I managed to, well, get a little bit of a lucky strike on the Panini sidecar that's way up there. So I really need to hurry and figure out a way to at least allow it to hit the ground somewhat safely. I was thinking between making a drone that would allow me to get up there that could carry enough for me to build a control seat. I was contemplating some other options as well. But the one that I think I've decided on, and it's because of the time pressure that I'm choosing this one more than anything else, is building a bunch of small grid, well, things that can be carried up by this drone that will have a whole bunch of parachutes on them. And that's about it. Parachute, battery, landing gear, antenna. So the idea is to have a landing gear, then a few little batteries on here, say 3, followed by an antenna. And the reason I'm using an antenna is so that I can have control over this thing to turn on and off the landing gear, well, to lock and unlock the landing gear, but also to enable and disable the auto deploy on the parachutes, because that is really important. I need to be able to have these off when I'm flying up there, but turn them back on once I've actually got it hooked to the ship. I'm going to add a landing gear to the drone so that I can carry these things, and then I should be able to control it all quite nicely. With the antenna set to a range of say 10 or 15 meters, I should have plenty of power on this to run it for long enough that the parachutes will deploy when the Panini crashes to the ground. The reason I am avoiding the reason I'm not flying myself up there is I fear that I might run out of time in trying to get control of enough systems that I could crash to the ground with it, and I really don't want to do that. So if it's going to crash to the ground, I would rather it not have me in it. Alright, then I really don't know how many of these are going to be needed to make this thing land safely. So I might try and make 4 of them. And hope that that's enough. While I'm building these, I thought I might talk about some of the names that you guys suggested when I asked last time for names for the little drone. And wow, so many cool names. One of the most popular ones was basically forcing an acronym out of Capac's name, which, you know, given the use of the drone, I can see where you're coming from. What was it? It was Crude Assault Platform, Acceptably Clumsy, and Cost Acceptable Platform, Assault Craft. I do like the idea, but I think I would get very confused having more than one thing called Capac. Some of the other names that I wanted to highlight were things like the Kappa drone. Someone suggested Sploutsy. Quite a few people suggested Wolverine because it's kind of similar to the original Wolverine colors of the yellow and black. Honey Badger, that was another popular one. One of the more ridiculous ones that I definitely got a chuckle out of was Rudy Tooty Fresh and Shootsy, and also the Spicier Cheese Puff. Someone suggested Archer for a similar kind of reasoning behind the suggestions for Capac, which is it's a cheap early game ranged unit. So it's, whoops, didn't need another 4 of those. That was a mistake. Have I done all these now? This is the problem with talking while I'm actually building. I totally lose track of what I'm doing. Another suggestion I quite liked was Icarus, because I am definitely going to fly too close to the sun in this thing and end up burning up. But the name that I think I'm going to stick with is the Canary. It fits in quite a few ways. The original comment I read suggested that it's like a canary in a coal mine in that this thing is going to die so I don't have to. Which, you know, in some ways makes me think Capac's a bit of a canary. Because he often dies so I don't have to. Ah, let me up. Let me up! Yeah, I need to get these things done quickly because I do not know how long that power is going to last up there on that cargo ship, and I would like to try and save as much of it as possible. I genuinely think this is going to be the most effective way of doing that as well. Hopefully these small grid parachutes will actually do enough to slow down a large grid ship. I'm not supremely confident in that. Because, well, given how much they allow the ore drop pods to get damaged, maybe they won't quite cut it. but I do expect them to save at least some of it. Because I've got some really fun ideas in mind, and one of them was a suggestion from the comments last week for what I could do with this thing if I can manage to keep enough of it alive that I can make some use out of this ship. Because trying to create a large grid ship, even with the large number of resources I've got from the lawn chair, I still think I'm probably going to struggle. Oh, hang on. Before I do any more, I need to change the broadcast radius on this. Let's go 10 meters. And then let's just check. See if I am right about this battery life. Yeah, 3 days. Plenty. Cool. Copy that. Paste it onto that. Paste it onto that. Paste it onto that. There we go. Oh, hang on. And I will turn auto lock off. And some of you might be wondering why, when I've got a connector and a merge block on the drone, why I'm not using one of them to hook up to these things. The reason is, I think, well, basically the reason is that the drone will draw power from the batteries on these little parachute pods, and I don't want it to do that. I could set the batteries to recharge while I fly up there, but then I have to switch them off, recharge. I just genuinely think this will be 1, cheaper, and 2, more reliable. Oh, come on. I know I can jump up on these things, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I have to get the timing just right. Oh, also on the naming topic, there were quite a lot of suggestions about names for insects, but as I said last week, I kind of might have used up a few too many of those with the enemy drones, so much as I do agree that it did look like a lot of the things that were suggested, I just can't bring myself to use them when I know I'm going to use them for the assertive drones. And also when some of them had actually already been used by the assertive drones. Or the cargo ships. There is something about a compact drone that just makes you want to name it after an insect though. Welded up, and now for the most important step of all, canvas. Must put these in there. Is that enough of them? There we go, that's more. Just make some more just in case. Cannot forget to load the chutes. That would be bad. Just had a scary thought. What happens if the landing gear don't hold on when the canvases deploy? I know there are situations where you can rip things apart enough that landing gear will unlock. I hope this isn't one of those ones. If it is, there's nothing I can do. Like, there was going to be no way I could realistically save this cargo ship, and I'll have to develop some other tactics. But I don't know how many times I'm going to get lucky enough to disable a cargo ship in mid-flight. And with so little other damage to it. So I really hope this works. Okay, now I need to just get a landing gear onto the drone, onto the Canary. There we go. That was definitely a legit use for my jetpack then.
Energy.
I need to grab a little bit of power. Got enough oxygen for a little bit. What I might do is lock onto the little parachute package while I'm out here, just so that I can see what I'm doing, because I don't have a camera under there. Can I stick one though? Maybe that'd be a good idea. Can I get a camera anywhere facing downward? I can't. Oh, no I can't. Dang it. No, I can't. The only spot I can think of putting one is underneath that thruster, which I might just do. I doubt it's going to be able to see much, but if it can, it'll be really helpful. Because even with Digi's camera panning mod, I don't think I can see down where that landing gear is going to lock onto. Okay, let's try this out. And let's see what our third camera sees. Oh yeah, that's kind of usable. Yeah, that's usable. Alright, then I go K, remote access, terminal for the nearby one, and unlock. And now we have the issue of subgrids being flown, as this thing kind of sinks constantly due to the weight of the subgrid that the inertial dampness are not accounting for. Alright, let's get this thing on there. There it is, above me. Alright. No! No, it's too heavy! I can't go up! gonna have to add some more thrusters. Ah, this is such a waste of time. This is annoying. It's a whole wasted trip. Oh, and my power situation. I should have been charging this. I should have set the batteries to recharge. Ah. No. I've made mistakes. Come on, slow down. Might have come in a little quickly then. I'll lock on with the merge block. No, wrong thing. Turn those off. And what was I doing? Adding extra thrusters, that's right. I need more thrust. I reckon that's going to be the best spot for it. Can't really... I suppose I could stick another one at the back here too. But an extra two will hopefully do the trick. Did feel like I was approaching the ceiling of where this drone could get to when I was fighting with it. I need these extra thrusters for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm carrying the extra weight, that's going to cause an impact. But the way the weight interacts with the ship, I think, is also a factor. Given that when you have a subgrid, you have that permanent drift downward. And I think that might have contributed to why I was running into troubles there. Let's get some ammo in the drone just in case. Don't really want to fly around with it being unarmed. Come on, come on, come on. Should have done this before. This is wasting so much time. Alright, one battery's a quarter charged. I might wait till this one's got, say, 200 kilowatts? 200 kilowatt hours, I should say. So then I'll have about 25% battery, and that should get me a couple of trips up there at least. I just don't want to wait too long. I don't want that thing to run out of power before I get any shoots up there. I'd like to at least get a couple of packages on there before it crashes down. And I do worry that it will crash down. Alright, let's put these back to auto. And let's fly this thing. Grab a couple of O2 bottles. I want to be able to see what I'm doing, that's why I want to sit here. Okay, 6 minutes of power. This is going to be tight. Let's get in and turn on auto lock. Alright, I've at least gotten over the altitude of the other one this time. That's something. Let's try and protect the side that's got the most thrusters. I'll put the parachutes mainly on this side, that way that crew quarters on the opposing side is going to be the one that loses, well, that takes the damage. Okay, we're locked. Now I've got to go in there again. Terminal, parachute hatches, auto deploy. Alright, let's go grab another one. Let's grab another package. To turn auto lock on again. I did not. Good, locked. Auto deploy on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Auto deploy. Not much battery power left. I think that might be my last trip. If I don't get some more charge. Get batteries on recharge, rehook, reconnected. Now I just got to wait a little bit so that I can get up there and get the rest of these two on it. How's the charge coming along? Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, I did use quite a bit there. This is going to be so tight. I have no idea how much charge was left on the batteries on the Panini up there. But I can't imagine there's too much left. It's been flying now for over an hour. Probably closer to an hour and a half. And it was not intended to fly that long. I think for the most part, these cargo ships, I set them up, or at least I had the goal of having them have at least 40 minutes of power. Some of them have a lot more than that, but I can't imagine this has all that much more left in it. I've got 16 small parachutes ready to deploy on it. 34, 245. If I can get this up to 200 again, then I know I've got enough power to get up there and back with these two loads. I'm almost tempted to write it down with the last one. Alright, I think I'm going to have to call it here. Where is it? Battery. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Alright, let's go. Come on. Knowing my luck when I get all excited like this thing's probably going to survive heaps longer than I expected, and I'll have had all the time in the world. Or not. I just saw the antenna go out. It's going down. She's going down. Oh no. Come on, parachutes work. Work, 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 work. Please. Oh, don't crash into it. Don't crash into it. Don't crash into it. I might even be able to latch on if I'm clever. It's going down very quickly though. No, no chance. No chance of my latching on. Let's see what damage this takes. Oh, that's right, I made this red. Oh! Oh! That was some damage. How much is left? Well, it's kind of carried it down into this ravine. At least it didn't land on all the craggies. This might be drive. I might be able to drive here. Okay, I really shouldn't have made that high power spotlight red. That's obnoxious. Okay. Looks like we've got at least a few working thrusters. Lost the rear end. Ugh. Yeah, lost a fair bit of the rear end. But it's not too bad. Yeah. Okay. Let's create a GPS since I'm here. And also, I'm just going to drop off my little package because it's making it really hard to fly. Alright. Slash GPS Panini. Cool. Well, I didn't save the whole thing, but I did save a lot. And enough to make it worthwhile to grab these bits. Don't know that I'm going to be able to reconstruct the vehicle exactly as it is, but if I can get the crane up here, which I think I could. That looks smooth down there. Down that way. There should be a path up here. Maybe. If not, I will have to forge one. Oh, that's awesome. But that is going to... any further recovery efforts are going to have to wait until daytime. So there's no way I'm going to try and forge that path at night. Oh, cool. Yes! I managed to save some of it. Even if I didn't manage to save the whole thing. Hope Steve got a good view of that. Battery's on recharge. Drone is armed and ready to go if I need it. Don't really know what to do with this now because I'm not sure I'll have another time to take advantage of it, but I guess I should keep it. And I'll probably pick up the other one that's that I dumped over there unceremoniously because it was making handling difficult. Okay, cool. What was I going to do today? There were things. There were other things. Before I go and retrieve that wreck, I think what I'm going to do is my planned upgrades to this crane. I've come up with a much neater looking design that takes advantage of the hinges and rotors as a mixture, and I'll implement that as well as the improved hitch. Probably mostly in a time-lapse, I suspect, because it will be a little bit of a slow process. But then I'll be able to show off exactly what the engineering I have in mind for it is, because it'll be similarly compact to what it is right now, but should have greater reach and a lot more power. But for now, I guess I should continue with my welding of the Arboretum. And maybe I'll be able to get to the point of having some opportunity for interior design and this space actually pressurized. Ever since I managed to take out that panini in a way that I can actually capture it, I've been contemplating the merits and the downsides of adding in one of those easy takeover mods so that like NPCs can be converted to your own ownership without having to hack down every single functional block. Because that hacking process is, one, incredibly tedious, two, with our scrap, it's actually going to be fairly costly. That bit I'm okay with though, because I kind of feel like it's an additional cost that goes into getting that ship to be your own. And the reason it's an additional cost is because when you grind stuff down to the hack line, you will end up with a bunch of those resources being wasted as they get turned into scrap, and then you have to process the scrap, etc. So I'm kind of debating whether or not I'd like to add one of those easy takeover mods, or whether I just come up with my own rule set as to what constitutes an appropriate time for me to consider a ship my own. And at that point, just use admin tools to convert it to my own. Because you can just go into the Alt F10 admin menu and make it so you can use all terminals and then just convert things. In this context, that's, I feel, is kind of a valid option because it's just, I'm playing single player, so if I set rules, I'll stick to them, because if I don't stick to them, I always feel like my game gets a bit hollow and I kind of get a bit bored because I haven't played by the rules. And I mean, given the mods I'm still playing with, even after this many hours, like, I still have to carry around 3 oxygen bottles. I think I can, at least on this occasion, and definitely in the past I couldn't, but on this occasion I can trust myself to stick to them. But it would be nicer to use a mod so that I can just use that to make it easier to, or make it less frustrating to take over a ship. Like, in my mind, once you've taken out the remote control blocks, once you've taken out the control blocks, and maybe once you've taken out the power source, I think I saw someone's takeover style mod where that was a thing as well. I feel like the ship is already yours. To have to grind down every single block is kind of a hassle. Now, I can't use the... Oh, actually I could. I was just thinking about the hacking computer mod. So the hacking computer mod's kind of a cool balance, I think, in a lot of ways for this issue. So it allows you to take over ships by attaching a block to it. Now, when I was thinking I can't use that, it's because right now I wouldn't be able to build a hacking computer because I don't have the necessary materials for it. Because I think they require at least gold in their components. But what that could mean is that's another reason for me to reach out into the stars to try and get gold so that when I capture a ship, I don't have to go through that whole hassle. And now that I say that out loud, I kind of like that idea. And I'm very tempted to add that mod to drive that kind of exploration. And for this Panini, I'm still going to have to do all the hacking, which will be a hassle, but but it makes it still feel like that early game thing of things are a hassle now, but I can make them better once I do a few things that take a bit of effort and take a bit of skill and engineering, but once I do them, I'll be capable of doing more. I'm definitely interested in everyone's thoughts on this. The pros, the cons, any other mods you might know that have a different approach to helping take over NPCs in a way that is less tedious, but also not super easy. I'm getting close to this thing being welded up. It's so convenient being able to walk around the outside now to do these bits. I was thinking about how I'm going to get to that spot in the valley where I've dropped the Panini. And I feel like this might be a valid use for the absconder as a trailblazer. I can use it to mark out a valid approach, drop some GPSs along the way to try and find a nice way to move the crane once I rebuild it. So that I can then either take parts over there to repair and make it flyable, or carve it up into chunks that are collectible and I can bring back to base. And, well, obviously only do that once I've taken control of them, because my base will shoot things up.
Energy
but
low.
Yeah, do a few things like that to see what I can actually do with it. Use the absconder to find that safe path, which is what I will do come morning, regardless of how much of this I've actually welded up. Oh, this is slightly terrifying. I feel like I'm on such a steep slope that I could slip off here and fall all the way down, especially with the ridges on the glass. That thing in Space Engineers where you get a little bump and then instead of catching as you slide down, you just keep bumping all the way down the steep slope. I feel like that could happen on the front side of the dome there. And that would be certain death. It's gotta be. I can't keep getting lucky with the falls like I have been. So I'm just a little nervous walking around out there. Whoa! Oh. Yeah, that sort of bouncing that just happened then is what I'm terrified will happen at the front. I was just thinking, I'm kind of missing out on a decent opportunity here to accumulate a whole bunch of power in the batteries for this place before I start using it up on stuff like the daily needs blocks. So what I might do is add a few wind turbines to the roof here. Since I've got these armor blocks, I can probably place one at each end of these bits. Maybe like I've done in the past on the other buildings with the 1x1 wheel and then the turbine. And I think with 4 of those set up, I should then be able to build some batteries, and maybe I'll just build them underground where I've got the airtight, well, the blocks that are required for airtightness, as then they're hidden and I don't really need to worry about them, since I don't really know where they'll fit into the walls otherwise. But it could mean that I can start getting some good charge into those blocks before ever needing to use any of it up. So I need some steel. I need some construction components. Whoops! No! No! Oh, rats. Well, that went somewhere. Then I'm going to need to take out this bit of glass here so I can place a set of stairs in. Because I need to walk up these to be able to place the turbine. Don't want this in yellow, I want this in red and snowy. And same with these need to be snowy. You discovered Reavers. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Gotta get the drone, gotta get the drone, gotta get the drone. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to turn off all my antenna things. And it'll go after my... Yep! Too late! I've got enough oxygen. Ah! Remote. Oh no! The batteries are on recharge. No! Get me in there. No! No! Turn it on! Oh, what are they shooting? Get it down! Oh. What? What got shot? Wait, what? I'm still getting shot. Oh man, I can't believe I messed up with the batteries there and couldn't get this up in the air. I think it just shot up a bunch of my... Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it shot up this stuff. What even was that? Oh, there's a missile. And some ammunition. I should probably head down there and grab that. Oh, man. Lucas! Okay, I have got to get this drone in a position where I can launch it much more rapidly. This was too slow. I kind of think maybe I should load it up out here. But I don't know that that's going to save me any time. The problem was I've got to turn the thrusters off. So what I need to do is put a connector out here. That's what I need to do. If I put a connector outside, I'll be able to lock down without having to worry about turning on and off the thrusters. And that would hopefully stop some of my problems. But oh man, stupid Reavers! I don't even know what happened there. I missed most of it. Let's build this connector. I'm just building it there because I need some way to quickly attach and detach that drone. If another Reaver comes by, I don't want to be stuck in the hangar while the fight's going on. Ah. There we go. It's locked down. I can now have the batteries on recharge, and then I can be ready to unlock it. That will be a much, much quicker connection and launch. so angry with myself for not being prepared for that. And also for totally messing up the launch. That was terrible. Back to the task at hand then. I am glad that this thing didn't get shot up though. Because that easily could have happened. Oh wait, it did get shot. How did I not die? What? What? I should have died. I should have died. I can't keep getting lucky with the falls like I have been. What is going on? Why don't I fly? Okay, I'm. It's not that I'm unhappy about it, but why aren't I dying when I fall? What is? It doesn't make sense. And also, my arboretum got shot. Oh, how much of the roof is actually busted? Just that one that's missing? It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but yeah, it does look like it's just that one that's missing. And of course, that one that's missing is the one I fall through. Make sure I don't fall in that hole again. I've definitely got to bring a girder with me so I can place that down on my next trip up here. All that fear of falling down the side of the building and I fall right through the middle of it and don't die. How does any of this make any sense? I take 11 damage. I've taken more damage than that falling from this railing up here. And that's a third of the fall. Again, not complaining, just confused. Another advantage of putting a power source on this that I hadn't thought about until just now is it'll mean I can put some lights on the arboretum, which should make the nighttime time lapses a little more visually interesting, I hope. There we go, 4 turbines.
Energy
They're probably not going to generate a huge amount of power, but at least if I can get them running while I'm not consuming any of that power, the battery should get a decent amount of charge going. Thinking about it, when that Reaver attacked, what I probably should have done was just remote in from wherever I was at the time. I had the signal strength to be able to get something launched from here without actually coming here. But as it turned out, I probably still would have stuffed it up because I hadn't, well, I had forgotten that I needed to turn the batteries off recharge when I did it. Oh right, I was supposed to go over to that wreck. I need to pick up the missile and the ammunition that's there before it despawns. At least I know, thanks to flying over it with the drone, that I'm safe to run over here. Oh. That's a couple of ion thrusters. NPC ion thruster, though. It's embedded in the ground. That's kind of cool. I don't need to worry about that bit. It's the bit over by the flame that I want to collect, and these bits of scrap. Is that it? That's warhead. Let's hope that doesn't get set off by stuff bouncing around in here. Because it looks armed. Oh no, it's not. No, it's dead. How much ammo did I get? 4 missiles, 6 canisters. I'm onto my end of my O2 tank. I need to go back. I wonder if I'll get enough platinum from those couple of ions in order to be able to get my whatchamacallits. Get better tools. Because that would be awesome. If I could break down these missiles and get enough platinum to get top tier welder and grinder. Oh, it'd be amazing. Or at least top tier welder. I don't really need the top tier grinder. And in fact, in some situations, it's better not having it. But having the elite welder would be very useful. Yeah, I get the impression these got shot up a bit.
Inventory.
Oh, they definitely got shot up a bit. There's iron there. Right. Well, I gotta collect that. So that's another thing I don't want to lose. Who'd have thought it? Ore drop pods. A new defense decoy mechanism. Quite effective one too. Because they're spread out on either side of my base quite a distance. An expensive one though. Earlier I briefly alluded to some ideas of what I could do to make use of the Panini sidecar, but I didn't actually get into it because I think I got distracted by something else. One of the ideas that I really like the concept of is trying to turn it into some sort of fuel hauler for planet-side fuel missions. So the idea I have there is
Inventory
flying
full.
from here to an ice lake and back so that I don't have to mine all the snow, because the snow is quite an inefficient way of mining and processing stuff. And if I can use something big like that, using atmospherics to fly there and back, I should be able to get over a lot of terrain that's otherwise
full.
very difficult to pass. It'll be quite a power-hungry way of doing things, but certainly is a valid option for it. The other option would be to use the atmospheric thrusters on it as a kind of a
Inventory
early
full.
atmospheric stage for my fuel launch vehicle to the lawn chair. So I could have a couple of large hydrogen tanks, the atmospheric thrusters, maybe a few and then a few hydrogen thrusters to get myself all the way up to the lawn chair base without having to build all those thrusters myself.
Inventory full.
That certainly feels like a good option as well. Either way, fuel hauler that can fly in atmo could be used for both purposes. Even if I filled it. Great. I have to actually go all the way back now. But yeah, either way, a fuel hauler could be used on planet or to orbit. But if I was just going to make it on planet, I could probably make it more efficient for that role. And the sun is starting to come up, so I can soon head out in the absconder. I think I've managed to get one battery down, so at least that's something. Getting all these distractions by having to collect some other stuff has certainly added to the time it's taken me to get these done. What I think I'll do is, on each trip, I'll go and grab some iron, go back, collect another load, and try and make this at least moderately more efficient. In retrospect, the batteries should have been one of the first things I built on this, and those turbines, because this is saying it's going to be fully recharged in 11 hours, which is ages. And with all the other things I've been distracted by in terms of the, like during the time of building this, the Arboretum probably could have been fully charged up before I even got onto the interior design phase. I need to remember that for future big constructions like this, that if I know where I could put batteries and if I know where I could put some power generation, to try and focus on building that scaffolding area first so I can get those in. And like I do more often with my vehicle builds these days, I do set them up so that the batteries get a little bit of accumulated charge before I launch to try and optimize my time a little bit better. Like building off a stalk attached to a base sort of thing rather than just building on a landing gear out in the open. That's something I do a lot more often these days. I am always glad of this location I picked. Look at that sunrise. It's just green and still beautiful. You can see the sun high on the highest peaks, and it's just about to break over the horizon there. And then it'll be time. See if the absconder actually can be useful as a scouting vehicle. There we are, 6 big batteries. I think they'll take years to fully charge even with those 4 turbines and nothing consuming any power. What does it say? Fully charged
Energy
in 1 day, so
low.
24 hours in game. That's like, with the amount I play each week in this save, that'd be 8 weeks, so 2 months. Because I play 3 to 4 hours each week to get the recordings done. And it's up in the absconder. Time to explore. Grab whatever ice I can. Refill it. See if we can run on the generators for as long as possible. Let's roll out. I might have slightly made it hard to get out of here by parking the crane in front of myself. Oh. It would appear that I can't run on generators alone. Okay. Battery on auto. So I need to head into the mouth of that valley. That terrain is looking less and less nice as I get closer. This could require some more creative thinking about how I'm going to retrieve this wreck, or even retrieve parts of it. Okay. Panini is up there on the hill. How on earth am I going to get up there? I do need to get up there though, because I need to investigate the crash site and see what else is actually there. I did remember to bring a rifle with me, so at least I did one smart thing before I left. And I did eat and drink. And I have got an O2H2 gen on this thing, so I can get more oxygen if required. And can't get more water though. Okay, the Sconda can make it up that, but I'm not sure crane's going to manage to get up there, especially with the load on it, or back down this hill safely. Alright, how do I get up this next bit? Nini's over there. Or can I go round to my right, maybe? This is looking less horrible. Oh yeah, I've made it. That was actually not too hard. It'll be interesting to see what I can do with this with a, where's my weapon? With the crane. This is something. I'm at the crash site, where I dumped this little thing. Can I get aboard? I, rather unfortunately, did not bring any building materials, so there's no way for me to build a ramp to get on. And I can't see an easy way to kind of cut my way in. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, that one's not intact. Nope. 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 So we've got 6 large thrusters that are fully intact. A 7th that needs repairing. Yeah, an 8th that needs repairing. So there's 6. That's not too bad. And that gyro is probably intact. Yep. Same with a lot of these batteries. Cool. Well, I need to figure out how I'm going to get the useful parts of this, because, say, that's got 2 steel plates in it. There's no point in me bringing this back. I can grind that off. But I'll need to kind of lock down the parts that I want to keep before I start grinding parts like this large cargo container and this atmospheric thruster out. Because I fear that if I grind them out now, it's all going to fall down the hill. So I do need to lock this down. Which means maybe I could come back here with enough to build a bit of a landing gear. Build the landing gear and lock this to the ground. And then cut out all the bits that are completely useless to me. And see what I've got left. I may have small enough chunks that I can, given that terrain isn't as horrible as I'd feared, I might be able to get up here with a crane that's minimally loaded. I don't think I can load it up heavily because these hills are very steep. You can see that tree. That puts it at basically a 45-degree angle, or maybe even steeper. Oh, I could probably do some clever thing and actually calculate an angle, but who cares? It's steep. So I'd really like to hear from you guys what you think about my idea of introducing, say, the hacking mod or one of the other easy takeover mods. Not really relevant here since so many of these blocks are broken anyway, but might become relevant in the future. And I would also wonder whether you've got any ideas of what I could do with the 6 working thrusters from this thing. As next time I try and figure out how on earth I get them back to base. So there's all that and plenty more to come. And I will see you then.